as I mentioned yesterday. Nowadays, all the Khenpos, Khenmos, and everyone from various fields, when it comes to giving teachings and expounding the Dharma, as well as their sense of time, are all quite good. I am also very grateful for this occasion. Yesterday, I didn't expect that everyone would still follow the schedule, and that the Dharma teachings for everyone would not be delayed. For this, we are especially grateful to our Khenpos and Khenmos. Next, let's take a look at the perfection of wisdom. Without wisdom, even with the other 5 perfections, one cannot attain the complete fruit of Buddhahood. Therefore, combined with skillful means, cultivate wisdom that does not discriminate among the 3 spheres. This is the way of a bodhisattva. Today, my eyes aren't working well. Maybe I got tired this morning. Everything in front of my eyes is blurry. I can only make out 2 characters at a time. I can't see clearly. If one does not rely on the wisdom that realizes emptiness, like a guide for the blind, and is not supported by the wisdom of realizing emptiness, then merely relying, like a blind person, on the collective practice of the previous 5 perfections, one cannot attain perfect enlightenment, nor can one reach the city of omniscient Buddhahood. Therefore, the vast skillful means such as great compassion and bodhicitta, combined with the practice of non-conceptualizing the object of practice, the practitioner, and the method itself, the wisdom of the emptiness of the 3 spheres, in other words, skillful means and wisdom, are the indispensable causes for attaining Buddhahood. Therefore, practicing and realizing the 3 wisdoms, including the wisdom of emptiness, which is endowed with skillful means, such as the wisdom of emptiness and so on, is the conduct of all bodhisattvas in practicing the perfection of wisdom. It is also stated in the ornament of the sutras that true discernment of what is to be known. As for wisdom, it is the true discernment of what is to be known. It is also said in the compendium of sutras, what is wisdom? It is the discernment of phenomena. This is the same as how it is expressed nowadays. Wisdom is the discernment of phenomena. It can discern whether something is good or not. It discerns good from evil, what is reasonable from what is unreasonable. With wisdom, one is able to discern. Without wisdom, one cannot discern at all. In other words, true subtle observation, or the method of discerning observation, is the very essence of wisdom. It is the essence of the perfection of wisdom, prajna paramita. Among these, wisdom proficient in 5 sciences is called the wisdom that comprehends conventional truth. When one measures the wisdom of ultimate truth, either generally or directly, this is called the wisdom that realizes ultimate truth. It is known as the wisdom that realizes the ultimate. Conventional wisdom should be the mastery of the 5 sciences. As for the wisdom of ultimate truth, whether it is in a general manner or in a directly perceived manner, anyone who realizes the ultimate truth, this is called the wisdom of ultimate truth. To know how to accomplish the blameless benefit of all sentient beings, both in this life and in future lives. In our text, the 37 practices of a bodhisattva, every single practice contains a perfection that benefits sentient beings. This is relatively rare in other places. This is the wisdom that realizes the benefit of sentient beings. In addition, there are other classifications. Patru Rinpoche divides the perfection of wisdom into hearing, contemplation, and meditation, which are the 3 aspects. In texts like the Ornament of the Sutras and the Entering the Middle Way, there are also other ways of classifying it. So, regarding this perfection of wisdom, here it mainly refers to ultimate and conventional wisdom, as well as the wisdom that benefits sentient beings. The faults of lacking wisdom. Generally speaking, if one lacks wisdom, then it is impossible to accomplish any virtue in this life or future lives. Especially if one does not possess the wisdom that realizes selflessness, then the other 5 perfections, such as generosity, are just like being without eyes to see. In the condensed Prajna Paramita Sutra, it is also said, if there is no wisdom, the 5 perfections are blind, and without a guide for the blind, one cannot reach enlightenment. This is explained quite clearly in the study of the Entering the Middle Way, where the 6th chapter cites scriptural evidence from the condensed Prajna Paramita Sutra. It discusses at length that if there is no wisdom, the other 5 perfections are like blind people. The virtues of wisdom are completely opposite to what was mentioned earlier. It can accomplish all virtues and merits in this life and future lives. This was also stated in the previous treatise. Whenever one is guided by wisdom, at that time one gains eyes and earns this name. This is what is said in the condensed Prajnaparamita Sutra. Whenever one is guided by wisdom, that is when it is truly the perfection of wisdom. It's just like a person having both eyes, realizing the antidote to the two obscurations. In other words, the wisdom of emptiness is of utmost importance. The wisdom that realizes emptiness, just as stated in the Uttara Tantra Shastra and the Way of the Bodhisattva and other such texts, cultivating the wisdom of emptiness brings many temporary and ultimate benefits and virtues. As for the so-called with skillful means, earlier we mentioned with skillful means and with wisdom, right? The meaning of with skillful means, as explained in the ornament of the sutras, is the meaning of possessing both wisdom and skillful means. This means that relying solely on emptiness alone, one cannot enter any of the Mahayana paths. Therefore, one must cultivate the emptiness that is endowed with all the superior aspects of skillful means, such as generosity and so on. This refers to the profound emptiness characterized by skillful means. Every character appeared to be doubled. It seems like my eyes and my mind, as people age, year by year, things get worse and there are many problems. It's just like some cars in the world. After a certain point, they just don't work anymore. So one must cultivate the emptiness that is endowed with all the superior aspects of skillful means, such as generosity and so on. This refers to the emptiness that is characterized by skillful means. This is the practice of supreme wisdom. This is also the method for cultivating the six perfections, as explained in the ornament of the sutras. It is the practice of the six perfections. This is also the meaning explained in the Kashyapa Inquiry Sutra. They are the same. All right, let's just stop right here for now, shall we?
Sonam dei tanche thobaya tonne de jama pase kirgana jirano chupai chupun sonen droa droa
ma bandran gara badna sodargye ma bandran gara badna sodargye bandran gara badna sodargye